How long does pre-construction take? In this video, I'm going to give you some amazing concepts where you can wrap your mind around how long it should actually take so that you can go nail it on your project and win and have a successful outcome. If you're into that, stay with me on this video right now. Okay, so people ask all the time, how long should pre-construction take? And I have a great answer that you're not gonna like. So I hope you're sitting down. However long the project is, cut that in half. That's how long it takes to plan it. It's a 1/3, 2/3 rule. They follow that in most successful militaries throughout the world. It is a great rule of thumb from a short interval planning standpoint, from a tactical standpoint, and it also follows and is true for major construction projects. And if you don't believe me, read the book, How Big Things Get Done. So if you have a 10-month project, you should have been planning it for 5 months. If you have a 10-year project, you should be planning it well for 5 years. It's a 1/3, 2/3 ratio. Now, everybody that's watching this video is mad at me right now because you're like, we don't have the money, we don't have the time, we don't have the people, we don't have people on the bench. I get it. That is great. I understand 100%. It's like me saying to somebody, by the way, I grew up in California. I love my California peeps. I remember being in Los Angeles and the air quality is really bad, right? And I remember lots of people coughing, lots of asthmatics, lots of people with like really chronic conditions because of the dust and the pollution. Me telling you, you got to do pre-con would be like saying, hey, if you live in LA, you're going to have lung problems. You might want to get out. They're going to be like, I have a house, my family, my kids. I get it. But you're still going to probably have complications with your breathing and with your lungs. I'm telling you about the risk. If you don't spend the time in pre-con in the 1/3, 2/3 ratio, you're going to fail that project. And I want you to know, Jason, you're lying. You never spent that time. Yes, I did. I remember both the projects that I was on as super and a project super, and then the next one as a general super, and then on and on. I spent the time in pre-con. We were on a 20-month project. I was there 10 months ahead of time. So not exactly perfect. If it was perfect, it would be like 11.7. You get my point. But I was on the project 10 months ahead of time. And I remember having general superintendent say, Jason, go do a smaller project. Go do something else. I was like, no, no, no. We're going to get this right. We finished ahead of time, under budget, made a lot of money with self-perform. The vice president of construction said it was like Disneyland. It was a massive, raging success. Projects typically don't go wrong, they start wrong. So let me tell you why you're probably rushing it. It's actually not how long does it take, but how thorough can we be? And I remember somebody saying, Jason, we're bought in, we know what we need to do, but are you saying have a superintendent with a set of plans in an office? No, I'm not saying that. That usually never works. There are key check-ins. Let me tell you what these check-ins are right now, and you can check this out in a book called Elevating Pre-Construction Planning that we're constantly updating. In fact, in the next couple of months, we'll have another update to it. That means we'll update the formatting, update information, make it more clear. It's going to be great. Okay, so check out that book in the description below if you want, and please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you love what we're talking about. First of all, in the proposal phase, in pre-construction, the question is, how thorough can I start planning the project for the proposal and for the interview and bring up at least 3 major concerns or strategic advantages in your proposal? Start building that client's project today. Do not talk about, well, this is what we typically do and these are our typical process. No, no, no. Say, this is our team. This is our plan. These are the main things to watch out for. This is why we have your back now. Then you go into the project initiation, concept design. And at that phase, I want you to create a single-page macro-level TAC plan from a builder's perspective. That is going to have your zoning, it's going to have long lead procurement, but what it's going to do is shape the overall strategy for the project and allow you and the estimators to identify your general conditions and your general requirements. And it will help you to know where you're trending from a budget, which includes your GCs, GRs, and your fee and your contingencies. It will help you to identify where your budget is so you can design to the budget. Target value design, target value delivery, okay? And that will make sure that you don't enter into this irresponsible dismemberment engineering process, which people call value engineering. Once you then go into schematic design, you want that macro level TAC plan, your zone maps, your logistics plan, your procurement log ready at the go as the designers are shaping and getting their overall massing and getting the overall schematic concepts, the floor plates, and everything kind of shaped right for the end user. And what you're going to do with that plan is to say, this is how we're going to build it. So before you go into design development, and Hal Makeomer taught me this, make sure you explain to the design team what kind of systems best suit the constructability, what kind of systems and equipment support the overall durations. How do we want to design certain things for prefabrication? Where are your bottlenecks? Tell the designers that and ask them to design to it. We shouldn't design and then react with a duration. We shouldn't design and react with a budget that exceeds the overall owner's budget. We should design to, okay? This design and chop is not a great process. So in schematic design, that's what you're doing. In design development, we should fully begin planning while we're supporting the designers. That means model reviews, constructability reviews, real-time budget activities, early design assist trade partners, right? But we should start building the project with the builders in design development. Okay, that means that we are doing pull plans with any trades we have available. We are outlining and detailing the first 90 to 120 days. We are planning for the site. We are making sure that any existing utilities are relocated. We are designing shoring. We are getting materials coming. We are vetting out our plan. And then in the CDs phase, in pre-construction, when the designers are putting together your construction documents, you really need to be reviewing and iterating, reviewing, iterating, reviewing and iterating 3 different times to get a jam-in plan. So you can start with a TAC plan, zone maps, logistics drawings, trailer layout, org chart, risk and opportunity register, and full procurement log before you ever even break ground on that construction site. Everything's in the contract, everything's ready to go, and then start strong. Everything that I just mentioned is in the book. The question really isn't how long does that take? The question is, how thorough do I need to be to win? Now, how long your pre-con efforts really take will be determined by how large the project is, how much time you actually have available, local standards in the region where you are in, the type of building, right? It shouldn't be determined by how many people you have, though. I really get tired of these large, and I would say turn and burn general contractors that are like, yeah, I'll get the job from my reputation, promise a good team, then don't bring the team, don't have enough people, and then just throw it on the trade partners. Don't like that. But how long you take should be determined by the project itself, and it's the GC's job to get the right people and resources. Now, here are some signs that the pre-con effort is not going well. First of all, you don't have time to review and revise the plan 3 times. You are not starting early enough. You don't have time to get your long lead procurement. You don't feel ready to start. You are not involving the builders. You have not considered the proper overall duration in your overall budget, right? These are problems. And then from an owner standpoint, there's some things that really indicate you're off on the wrong foot is that if you're rushing and you think that pushing and rushing makes haste, if the owner is engaging in what's called strategic misrepresentation, meaning, hey, let's go ahead and make these changes, it shouldn't be a big deal, right? Or the commitment fallacy, hey, let's get started, then we'll figure out from there, right? These are signs that you're on the wrong track. So again, remember, it's not exactly how long it takes, but how thorough can we do the planning, because it is a must if you want your project to go well. If you don't do that planning, don't take the time, you're not thorough, again, you will be, historically, you will only have a 50% chance of finishing under budget, an 8% chance of finishing on time, and a 0.5% chance of finishing it the way the owner wants. So we really got to get you in the right framework. I recommend 2 books that I'll put in the description below, How Big Things Get Done, and our book, Elevating Pre-Construction Planning. If you have any questions, put it in the comments below. I hope to see you soon. On we go.